Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to crochet the super easy hat. First we will crochet the brim and then it's just a one round repeat. It's super easy. Of course you can adjust the size. You can make it for a baby, for a child, for a grown-up. This is totally up to you and I really love this stitch. It's super easy and a great pattern for a beginner. And now I will show you what we need and how to crochet the super easy hat. Today I'm using a 6mm crochet hook. You will also need a pair of scissors, a darning needle, a measure tape, and if you would like a pom-pom, I bought this one, but of course you could also make one out of yarn. This is totally up to you. And the yarn I'm using today is the Himalaya Super Soft. In the States, pretty similar yarn is the Brunette Super Value or Red Heart Super Saver. I really love working with this yarn. And this one recommends a 5mm crochet hook, but I am using a 6mm. And like I said, you can use any yarn you would like and the recommended hook size. And now let's get started. Let's start with the brim. And for this, we will start with a slip knot. And I'm going to crochet 10 chains. So grab the yarn, pull through, grab the yarn, and pull through. And like I said, I'm going to crochet 10 chains. Once you're done with your 10 chains, we will need the second stitch from the hook. Right here, the loop on the hook does not count as a stitch. So grab the yarn, insert into the second stitch, grab the yarn, and make a slip stitch. Go into the next stitch, grab the yarn, and make a slip stitch. I really like the look for the brim with the slip stitch, but of course you could also use a single crochet or a half double crochet. So I'm just going to work one slip stitch in every stitch, and at the end of the first row you should have 9 stitches. To start the next row, you will always chain 1 and turn your work around. And now if you flip it a little bit, you can see those little V's. And we will be working in the back loop only. So from the little V's in the back loop only. Like you can see right here, I'm inserting my hook into the back loop. Now grab the yarn and work a slip stitch. Again, go into the next stitch, grab the yarn and work a slip stitch. And like I said, if you started with 10 chains, you should have a total of 9 stitches. And here you can see it again, just the back loop only. So just keep repeating this until you reach your last stitch. I reached my last stitch and again chain 1, turn your work around and do exactly the same thing. So just keep repeating this row until you have the desired length you need for your hat size. We will always work just one slip stitch in the back loop only. Just make sure when you finish your brim that it's not too tight around your head or too loose. It just has to fit very comfortable around your head. So I'm going to repeat this row until I have my desired length for my brim, and I will see you back in just a moment. And also here into the last stitch, don't forget to work your last slip stitch, chain 1, turn around, and repeat this row. And this is what it looks like. I repeated this row over and over until the brim fits comfortable around my head. I really love the look. It almost looks like knitted, and I'm really happy with it. So once you're done, we can close it up for our hat. So all you're going to do is fold both ends just like this. And now let's crochet both sides together. So I will go through the first stitch, then find the stitch on the opposite side, grab the yarn and work a slip stitch. Just like this. Now again, go into the next stitch. I will go through both loops, find the stitch on the other side, and again, work a slip stitch. Take your time and I will see you back once I'm done crocheting my brim together. Once you are done, it will look just like this. And now all I'm going to do is turn it inside out. So just like this, I will hide the yarn tail in the inside. And now we will crochet in the round. So we will chain one. I will go into the very same stitch right there. And we will be working in single crochets. So grab the yarn, pull up, now grab it and pull through both loops. For my head, I had 70 stitches. The only thing you have to watch out for that your single crochets have a multiple of 2. So just to make sure the pattern will work out for the stitch, you will crochet single crochets all the way around. And they have to be a multiple of 2. So what I'm going to do, I go in every other stitch, not in every place I can find, because we're gonna have too many stitches. Like I said, I will skip then a row, for example, like here, I will skip that one, go into the stitch right next to it, and again, do a single crochet right next to it, and one more, and then I will skip a row. And this is how I'm going to crochet it all the way around. And like I said, I'm going to have a total of 70. So I will skip the next row and I will keep crocheting single crochets all the way around. If you have, for example, just 60, this is totally fine too. It always depends on your head size. So just keep repeating this all the way around and I will see you back at the end of our first round. I finished my first round with my single crochets and this is how it looks like. And now we can start with our pattern. Just like I said, make sure your single crochets have a multiple of 2 and now we can get started. So to finish off the first round, we will insert our hook into the very first single crochet and work a slip stitch. Now we will chain 1 and turn our work around. So just like this, that you can face the inside of your brim. And we'll be working from the right to the left all the way around. So our very first stitch will always be a slip stitch. We will always start with a slip stitch, then yarn over, go into the next stitch and work a half double crochet. And this is our repeat. So into the next stitch, a slip stitch, now yarn over, insert into the next stitch and work a half double crochet. And you will keep repeating this all the way around, just those 2 stitches. It's always a slip stitch and then a half double crochet. And we will do this all the way around until we reach the first stitch. So again, slip stitch, yarn over, go into the next stitch and work a half double crochet. Now again, a slip stitch and a half double crochet. Just keep repeating this all the way around and your last stitch will always be a half double crochet. I'm here and this is our last stitch, and like I said, the last stitch will always be a half double crochet. We will always start with a slip stitch and we will always finish with a half double crochet. So work your half double crochet. Now insert your hook into the slip stitch right here. Grab the yarn and work a slip stitch. Now you will chain one and turn your work around. And now you can see the outside from our hat, and we will be working again from the right to the left all the way around. And exactly like in the first round, we will always start with a single crochet. So our very first stitch is always a single crochet and a slip stitch, and the last one will always be a half double crochet. So the next stitch is a half double. Always the ones with the little loop in front is a half double. So yarn over, insert, and work a half double crochet. Then the next stitch is a slip stitch, yarn over, and work a half double crochet. Exactly like we did in the first round, it's just those 2 stitches. So half double crochet, slip stitch, half double crochet, slip stitch, all the way around. I repeated this all the way around, and in my last stitch right here will always be a half double crochet, just like this. And again, we will insert into the very first slip stitch and work a slip stitch. Now chain one and again turn your work around. We will be working again from the right to the left, and like I said, always start with a slip stitch and then just repeat. It's the same round over and over again. The only thing we have to do is after every round, just chain one and turn our work. So you will be repeating exactly the same thing, slip stitch, half double crochet, slip stitch, all the way around. Your last stitch will be a half double crochet, and you will slip stitch, chain one, and turn your work around. So this is our repeat for this hat, and just keep repeating this round until you reach the desired length you want for your hat. So this is all you have to do, and I will keep crocheting and see you back in just a moment to show you what my hat looks like. And this is what it looks like. Now you can see the stitch even better. It's such a pretty stitch and it works up really, really fast. And also the brim, it looks just like knitted. And I really, really love this look. So what I did, I kept crocheting all the way until I had the desired length I wanted. I reached roughly 23 centimeters, which is about 9 inches. If you want to make it even longer as a beanie, just keep crocheting until you have the desired length. But this is the perfect length for my hat. And now what we are going to do is just work one more round in single crochets, and we will work decreases. So we will crochet 2 stitches together all the way around. And if you had 70 stitches, you will have, after this round, 35. So all we're going to do now is work 1 single crochet. Don't finish it. Yarn over. Now you have 3 loops on the hook and crochet both together. I will show you one more time. So you will insert your hook just into the next stitch, just like this. Grab the yarn and pull up, and we will leave it just like this. Go into the next stitch, grab the yarn, and now we have 3 loops, and pull through all 3 loops. And this is how you crochet 2 single crochets together. It's super, super easy, and I'm going to repeat this all the way around. So just keep crocheting 2 single crochets together, just like this. And I will see you back at the end of this round. Now you have 3 loops, grab the yarn and pull through. I'm here at the end of my row, and now we will insert our hook into the very first single crochet. You will grab the yarn, pull through, work a slip stitch. Now chain 1, pull tight, and now leave a little bit of a longer yarn tail, and then cut the yarn. Grab your scissors, cut it. Now grab your hook, pull the yarn all the way through so we can secure it with a knot, just like this. And now we will need our darning needle, and we will pull our head closed. So just grab your darning needle, pull the yarn through, and I'm going to work with my darning needle through the single crochets. So I will go in and out. So here is the very first stitch, go in, around, through the next stitch, and I will do this all the way. So in and around, in and around, and this is all we have to do all the way around until we reach our very first stitch. So again, go in and out, in and out through all our single crochets. I just reached my very first stitch again, and now all we have to do is just pull it tight. So grab the yarn, and now we will start pulling. And like you can see, the hole on top is getting smaller and smaller. Here and there, try to fix it up a little bit and keep pulling. Just be very careful that you don't rip the yarn, just like this. And I just have a tiny hole left. It looks actually bigger on the camera than it actually is. And just keep doing this until you can't pull the yarn anymore. So just like this. Now I will grab my darning needle and I will insert the darning needle into the hole. So just grab your darning needle, pull it all the way through, that we are back in the inside. Now turn it inside out, and all we have to do with a few stitches, we will close this tiny hole. So pull tight one more time, and now let's close this tiny hole right here. So I will just go through a couple times just to make sure it closes up nicely. Pull through and pull tight, and again, pull through and pull tight. Just like this. Like you can see, we will only need a couple stitches to finish off. I keep checking from the other side now, and this is what it looks like. So I will go back one more time and do 2 or 3 more stitches. This is the tiny hole that is still open, and go through and pull tight. It's a little bit harder to pull through now because the yarn is pretty thick. So just keep pulling, and now it's all closed. So what I'm going to do now is go through stitches again. I want to secure it with a knot, so I will go through stitches, leave a little loop like this, and now insert the darning needle through it and pull tight. And now we made a knot, and I will do this one more time. So again, I will try to go through the stitches here. Make sure you leave a loop. Go through the loop, pull it tight, and we are securing it with the knot. And what you can do now is just sew in the yarn end and cut the yarn. Just keep double checking, make sure it's all nice and secure. And now we can sew in the yarn end. So I will just go through some stitches again to sew it in a little bit, and then we can cut the yarn. Just like this. And now grab your scissors and cut the yarn. The only thing left to do is just to sew in the very first yarn end we have right here. And I will just grab my darning needle, pull it through, and just sew it in. And what I always like to do is to go through some stitches, pull, just don't pull too tight, and then I will go into the opposite direction. So go through some stitches, then go in the opposite direction until you have the feeling the yarn end is sewn in. Just like this. I will go through one more time, and then we can cut the yarn. So grab your scissors, cut the yarn, and now all we have to do is turn our hat, and I'm going to attach my pom-pom. Our hat is done, just the only thing missing is the pom-pom. I attach my pom-pom and this little tag right here, and we are done. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time crocheting, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye.